Well, I tell you what, don't tell the wife, but I'm up 30% in 2 months. That's like, holy shit, almost 2 grand.
Got to feel great. How do you feel, man?
It's the feeling is undescribable. It's like having this invisible assistant that's working while I'm doing my stuff.
You've got David. I'm the founder here at EA Automatic, and I believe I'm talking to Travis today. Hey, Travis, thanks for making some time for me. Appreciate it. We just wanted to check in with you and see how things are going with you. You've been with us for a couple months, so we just thought we'd check in.
Hey, David. Yeah, I'm a wedding photographer. I specialize in those special moments. I love capturing them. The tears, the laughter, the joy, the chaos. It's really rewarding work.
Cool, man. So wedding photography, that's really cool, man. I guess every day is a little different, and you have to deal with crazy brides and stuff like that. What's that like?
Oh, we don't have time. We don't have time to talk about the crazy brides, but it's incredible. Last weekend I was shooting a wedding, and the groom was tearing up, the bride's dad was tearing up. I just caught this photo of the two of them together, and it was just, I'll tell you what, moments like that. That's why I do this.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's got to be really fulfilling, man. Just like you get to see people, like whereas like nurses see people on their worst day, you get to see people on like their happiest day. So that's got to be pretty cool. What got you interested in exploring other income streams besides your day gig?
Hey, great question. Let's just say not many people get married in January. May to October, I'm busy, but then winter hits, and it's like, what do I do now? Um,
Gotcha.
I've always thought it would be cool to have just a little something that kind of goes on in the background, a little bit of passive income coming in during those slower months to just kind of help keep my head above water.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's some smart thinking. Like, yeah, just got to keep at it. So how did you come across EA Automatic? How did we come into your life?
Oh, funny story. I'm editing photos from this huge wedding, and it's like 2,000 shots. And you just hit that point that you need a break. You need to take that mental break. And what do we do? Hop on the phone and start scrolling. I'm scrolling Instagram, basically doing everything I can to not go back to work, and your ad pops up.
I totally can relate to that. I know exactly what you're talking about. So what made you stop scrolling exactly? Was there a specific ad or like what caught your eye, man?
Oh, great question. Your ad pops up and it's these charts and figures, and I'm like, wait a minute. This looks like my editing software I use. All these lines and graphs and data and stuff. All of a sudden, my photographer brain was just like, this looks systematic and organized.
Gotcha. Yeah, that okay, cool. Interesting perspective. Yeah. I dig it. So what happened next then, sir?
Oh, I clicked through your website.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, I'm still in my bathrobe and coffee.
All right. So what caught your attention?
So really, what caught my attention as a photographer, the tone of voice and the brand design. I deal with visual data all the time, and I could just see that consistency of it, and it was really appealing to me from a visual standpoint.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So like was there a certain moment when you're like doing the research on it and looking stuff up that you decided to move forward? Was there a certain moment that like clicked that into place?
So, like I said, I was taking a brain break when I did this, but I felt like this might be something to come back to. So I bookmarked the page,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I went back to my work, and just in the middle of the night, it hit me. I needed to find out more about this, so I got up and shot a quick message.
Gotcha, gotcha. So what happened? You shoot a message to the team, and what was the experience like? What were the next steps?
I'll tell you what, it was so chill. Working with your team, they were professional, they were straightforward, they were honest. It didn't seem like somebody selling something to me. It seemed like somebody really trying to help me out.
Great. Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're going for. We're not trying to sell super hard or be extra. That's not what we're here for. So how'd the setup process go? Was it easy? Was it tricky? Was there too much technical stuff? Let me know.
Oh, I tell you what, definitely easier than configuring my camera settings. That's for sure. Pretty much your team handled everything. I had to open up a brokerage account. Um, Other than that, it was pretty much all fell back on your guys. You know, it was way the stuff I had to do was way more user friendly than most of the photography software I use.
Great, great. So it's easy peasy. I love it. So you start trading, you're doing the thing. What were your first impressions once it started trading for you?
Tell you what, easy peasy is an understatement. Um, you know, it was like watching a time lapse of my work. You know, I would just check in once in a while, and I'd see these small incremental changes happening. Um, as a photographer, I really love seeing these gradual transformations. So this really appealed to me.
Dude, I love hearing it compared to a time lapse. That's a really smart way to look at the income over time. Um, so now you're making passive income.
Mhm.
How does that feel? You are making passive income. You're sitting, your money's working for you while you're doing other stuff, living your life. What's that like, man? How's that? That's got to feel good, right?
Well, I tell you what, don't tell the wife, but I'm up 30% in 2 months. That's like holy shit, almost 2 grand. And I keep like to keep these screenshots on my phone just to watch these numbers grow while I'm out doing weddings.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I won't tell the wife. You can keep it for yourself and take a fishing trip or something. Um, that's so it's got to feel great. How do you feel, man?
It's the feeling is undescribable. It's like having this invisible assistant that's working while I'm doing my stuff. You know, yesterday I'm out shooting a wedding, doing my craft, and all of a sudden I get this notification that a trade just closed, profitably as well. You know, that's next level. It feels like I'm really getting somewhere in life.
Gotcha. Any moments where you did get a little nervous? You know, the market can be ups and downs. You know, there's fluctuations. Did you ever feel like, uh-oh?
No, not really at all.
Okay. That's I'll take honesty every time. You understand that there's ups and downs and you're cool with it. Um, so we were talking about your profits that we're not going to share with the wife, but do you have plans for them?
Well, as good as a fishing trip sounds, I've been dreaming about upgrading to this awesome new RED camera system, so I'm really thinking about buying it soon.
Gotcha, gotcha. Would that I guess that would help your business and such?
Absolutely, better equipment means better photos, means happier clients, which means more referrals. Um, it's like this automated trading thing could just fuel my passion. How cool is that?
Dude, the snowball effect, man, just gaining momentum. You're gonna just roll it all into a better business, into a better life, and better everything. I love it. So you're a creative. If another creative professional were to ask you about this, what would you tell them? Would you encourage them to use EA Automatic?
I'd say as creatives, we're already kind of comfortable with uncertainty and kind of trusting the process. We don't see the result until we get there. We have to trust the process is going to get there. And this is honestly, it's just applying that same mindset to our finances. You got to just sit back and let the system do its thing while I can focus on my primary stuff.
Dude, I love that perspective. That is like that's half of the thing. Is like, life is about showing up. It's about trusting the process. It's just about being there day in, day out. Gotcha. Any little surprises along the way? Anything come up that kind of got you by surprise?
Not really, man. It was boring. It was actually really boring, but in a good way.
Yeah, man.
I kind of went into it expecting just this constant stress and drama, but it just kind of quietly does its job in the background. It's kind of like a lot of the equipment I use. You just set it up and trust that it's going to perform.
Dude, that's it, man. You nailed it. That's why you get good equipment. That's why you don't cheap out. You don't get some second-rate camera because you want the best. So you get the
Absolutely.
best. You get EA automatic. You get your RED cameras. You get all your good stuff. Cool, man. Any other final thoughts before we boogie on here?
Yeah, yeah. My final suggestion is don't overthink it. I spent 3 days analyzing every little detail before I started, but really just take that first step. Sometimes the best shots happen when you stop planning and just start shooting.
Dig it, dig it. Yeah, man. That's like right out of something Steph Curry would say or something like that. A little inspirational book. Travis, you're fantastic. Keep up the great work. And thanks for sharing your very unique perspective, man. I loved hearing how things, having to compare it to a photographer's point of view is pretty interesting. I really like that. So thanks for sharing that with us, and looking forward to talking to you next time.
Thanks a lot, David. This has been awesome.
You got it.